All right, it is knife time. Once again, coming to you this lovely Monday morning from Junker Forge. And it is calm out today for now. It's been so crazy and wild and windy that I haven't been able to get nothing done. I've been indoors and only going outdoors to feed the critters. So, on this lovely Monday morning, we're going to get back into our Bill Bagwell's Battle Blades in our 1987 April issue of Soldier of Fortune magazine. Platoon, how real is it, partner? How real is Platoon? Huh? Gongadao VC. And let's take a look real quick at where we are at on our Battle Blade. Our Junk Force Bowie. All right. We have got the guard. Now, I haven't sanded the guard and done final finishing to it, but it is shaped into where I want it to be. It's cropped. If you look, I left just a smidge of the S guard on the top and a tiny bit on the bottom there, so it's got a little bit of a fanciness to it. All right, so now that our guard is trimmed and shaped to how you want it, now remember, we're going to be sanding and smoothing it out more at the end. We do all our final polishing at the end, so your knife just looks all good together. So there, we got our guard trimmed. Whether you left yours rectangular or you made it oval or whatever, I hope it came out good and to what you wanted. And within our specifications of 2 7/8 inches to 3 inches. All right, that really, just that, I can feel from handling my other SZCO Bowie, that just doing that has livened up the handling of this here blade. So, our guard is done per instruction of Bill Bagwell. And so now, we're going to get into our next section. Let me know how this is turning out, guys. How you guys like this? I'm doing this because I promise you, when you spend a few hours of your time on this $20-some knife, that you're going to be more proud of this knife than a knife that you've got, one of the most expensive knives in your collection, because you actually did work on this. And you're going to be specifically making it to fit your hand for your martial style and be your blade. This blade should end up being your everyday carry when you're done. I'm going to carry this for a while. All right. Look at that here. Look at our picture one more time. See? See the big guard, see the little guard cut down? One picture, magazines, man. Can you imagine just fixating on that one little tiny picture going, man, how'd he do that? Where'd he shape that? You know? Internet's wild, man. You guys are so lucky. This is what I was doing when I was young, learning this stuff. All right. Next, and I'm reading, this is a direct quote from Mr. Bill Bagwell. Rest in peace, Kang. Next work on the blade. It's too wide where the clip starts. Where the clip starts, it's too wide, too girthy. Thick boy, stretching out. Starting about 3/8 of an inch forward of the guard, what we just modified, the blade should be narrowed in a progressive taper until it is 1 7/8 inches wide at the point where the clip starts across the widest point of the cutting edge. The original width is 2 1/8 inches at this point. This involves removing a good amount of metal. If you're using a file, be prepared to spend an hour or so, probably a little bit more. All right, so 3/8 of an inch ahead of the guard. And Mr. Bagwell says we need to take this section is 2 1/8 inches, and we need to bring it down to 1 7/8 inches. So what I did is 3/8 ahead of the guard. I took a piece of our blue tape, and I measured, and I brought the end of the tape up to the edge of the spine of the blade, and I measured here and marked with a Sharpie 1 7/8 from the bottom of the blade to there. Okay, see the peak? This area is what we're talking about. 2 1/8 inches. We want to bring it down to 1 7/8. You see how I did that with the tape there? All right. So next, with your blade all taped up and protected, okay? Now you get that. 3/8 of an inch ahead of the guard. So take your tape measure and measure out from here to 3/8 inch. And then make your progressive line. The easiest way to make your progressive line is with tape. And all that material sticking up out of that tape, we're going to take off. And don't forget to keep your tape measure handy, because if your tape gets messed up or your Sharpie mark gets messed up or whatever, you're going to want to be able to check that width there. So, with our blade taped up and safe, it's going to take a minute. We fucking put it in the jaws of our vise and leave it sticking up some. All right, make sure that your blade is protected. Like I said, you might want to tape some cardboard on your blade over your edge while you do this process. Okay. And make sure it's good and snug. Don't go so snug that you're leaving waffle print on your blade from the jaws of the vise. That's ridiculous. As long as it stays in there. Ooh, I gotta tighten my vise to the countertop, to the tabletop. All right. And you start back there, and remember, don't bite too hard into the back, because you don't want to bring the back down. You want to bring, we're getting the front. We're going to bring the front clip point down. Work on it, work on it. Go forward, work on it. But remember where the meat's got to come off. Put on some music. Get your cup of coffee going. We're in the shop. Put on some eye protection, preferably real eye protection with a polycarbonate lens. It's all fun and games. It's all fun and games. Heading into the holidays. Oh, we got a text. Somebody loves us. Yeah, right. There we go. Take your time. Take your time. Put on your favorite bibbidi bop. Bibbidi bop bop ba bibbidi bop bop. Gang affiliated. Gang affiliated dedicated to my fellas. My fellas be drug dealers, cat peelers. Alright, and don't go all from one side, because the human body's asymmetrical, and that's going to give you a weird slant. After you get a few like that after a while, switch it over. Put your file in your left hand. Come at it from the other way. That's going to take your material off evenly. This is going to take some time. Kick back, relax. Like I said, the more time and effort you put into this, the more proud of it you will be. Okay? And yeah, man, I got all kinds of knife grinders and bench grinders and everything else, and I could whip this out. 25 minutes I could have done this whole damn project. But you know what? I'm doing this to where if you're living in an apartment in New York City, Boston, San Francisco, all those communist places don't even want you having nothing like this, you can make this. Like Not even $50 in tools and a $25 knife, you guys. Okay? Making something with your hands, making something cool with your hands, you know? Do people come pull up to the car meet in a stock Honda Civic? No, they don't. Some might. But what I'm saying is when you take something and you modify it, and you make it special, and you make it your own, it's like a really cool feeling. Like I said, when this thing is done, you're gonna be like, dude, I made this to my specification. Bagwell was right, man. This thing is so lively in my hand for a $25 knife. You know? And I have all kinds of knives. You guys have seen all my stuff. Not all my stuff, but a lot of my stuff. And here I am still modifying me a $24 knife, you know? Because it's cool, it's fun. If I do end up having to use this knife in a self-defense type situation, the man has to take it, well, dude, I lost out on 25 bucks. And a few hours of sharing a good time with the Junk Force here on the old YouTube. We got some cool perks coming up for the Junk Force soon, you guys. For everybody that tunes in and watches the show. I got some good news coming up for you in the next couple days. And that's cool. You guys are gonna have some perks hanging out here soon with Uncle. And that's pretty cool. I figure you guys share your time with me. And time is the most valuable thing we got. And so everybody that hops on here, all 480 of you that have subscribed, and all the people that aren't subscribed, whenever you hop on here, spend your time watching Uncle Junk blabber on about knives, know that it's appreciated. Because you could be doing anything you want with your time, yet you choose to share that time here. It's coming along pretty good. And it's going to take some time. Remember, just take your time, slow and steady. Slow and steady. My goats are getting into something. They're probably eating the box off stuff. Goats love eating cardboard. Now remember, our original list of tools didn't say nothing about sandpaper, but we're going to be using some emery paper and sandpaper and emery cloth to make this thing all pretty when we're done. And that's up to you. You take this project to whatever level you want to take this project. And you can get some pressure in there. You put some pressure on there where it comes to the thick part. You can get some pressure on there. Get that off. But don't be like, because this is a hardened piece of steel. This takes time. Don't get frustrated. Just know that when you're done, it's going to be worth it. Let's check back in with Mr. Bagwell. He says, a small bench grinder makes this part of the modification a lot easier, but a file and a little patience are all that's necessary. Removal of this metal from the blade will make the knife quicker in your hand while still leaving the blade sufficiently powerful for heavy cuts and chopping strokes, which we need our knife to do. The point of the Western Bowie, this ain't a Western Bowie, we won't tell Bill, this is a SZCO Bowie. Oh, and that's going into the next step, so we don't even want to read that. But this step in this process, we're making our knife more lively and fast. That's what we're doing now. By slimming up the profile. You know. And a lot of like combat style Bowie knives. See, the Bowie world is really interesting and really full of what do you call it? Contradictions, really. A Bowie knife is pretty much what you want a Bowie knife to be, I guess. All right. Nice tea. I didn't get much done on this. I'm going to chalk it right back in, turn on my music, and I'm going to get to work here and finish this up so we can get into the next stage. But there I am, filing it down. See the material there hanging out on the edge? Remember, measure your line out. It's easy to mark it with the tape, the best, easiest way. Mark it with your Sharpie, mark it with tape. And just get to filing. I'm going to get this done and I'll post a short about it this afternoon. And then we're going to be getting into the stuff that's going to require a little bit of finesse work, you guys. We're going to be bringing down the point a little bit. And we're going to be putting an edge on the clip point of this thing. Because this is a battle Bowie board. It's a battle blade, man. We ain't playing. We ain't playing. That's right. This junk Force is going to be the badass Bowie. All right. Well, I'm just rambling at this point. I hope everyone's having a great Monday. You're probably watching this in your cubicle at your job. Quit your job, get a big knife, and act up. Watch your top knot.